What did you say?
Well Mudda Sick Dread.
What?
Well Mudda Sick Dread.
The details, you see. Well Mudda Sick. Greetings, everybody. This is another episode of Well Mudda Sick. I got a little cool display in the back. That's for something else. As always, we moving bigger and better in 2026 for sure. As usual, if you'd like to sponsor this show, feel free to slide in our DMs, Facebook, Twitter, Instagram, TikTok, Snapchat, Threads. I think we're on Sky Social or Red Note, or Blue Social or Red Note. One of them. I can't remember all. But in any event, email us at theoriginalpeoplenetwork@gmail.com and just inquire for more how you could get on this great content. And just like that, we rate back because I got more things to say. And I probably release this probably next week. Maybe the week after. But so far, y'all have been enjoying the last conversation that we had about the Peter Pan syndrome. And what I want to get into today, obviously you see I'm a little bit hands-free, but I'm still vocal because I try out new things in 2023. So no mic in front of me for this time. But what I wanted to discuss and coming off of what we talked about in the last episode was the weight room. The process of coming out of the Peter Pan syndrome, or not even going into the Peter Pan syndrome, is you finding out what exactly let me not even go there first. You realize that you need to make a change in your life. Hopefully it is at a younger age. Like you're young when you realize that. And then you go into this process of being patient and persevering and going through the process of developing yourself, waiting for certain things to come to fruition, but taking your time in building up to the grand finale that is becoming the truest form of you. And that's not necessary, again, I will always preface, this does not mean career success or obtaining status symbols. This is strictly and solely on personal development, mentally, physically, spiritually. Because people often conflate you attaining things with you getting closer to your highest and best self. Not doing that here today, and we'll ever do it because I don't want to hear, oh, well, what about the people like you only talking about material things and, things happening in life why you can't get these stuff. Okay, cool. Not talking about that. So, during the process of you becoming yourself, there's a period in time that you have to be still. There's a period in time in which you just have to sit back. You've worked, you've delayed the groundwork. And you have to sit back and wait for other things to come into play. And I like to categorize this period as the weight room. Both WEIGHT as well as WAIT. And why those two words are significant is you should go to both. And you should be happy that you're going to both of them. Now, WAIT is the weight room, where you're in a hospital, you're going to see the doctor, and they tell you, okay, the doctor's not ready for you. Please have a seat right here. And you sitting there, you don't know if you probably may be sitting there for 10 minutes or for 4 hours waiting on a service. But before you could get to see the doctor to get whatever you need to be done at the clinic or at the hospital, you have to sit down in the waiting room. And there's 1,000 thoughts going through your mind in between the time. What's going to happen where you go in for some consultation or some examination, or you're trying to get some prescriptions if you're ill, what's going to be their final analysis of your condition and what they're going to give you as a solution to that. And so now in the waiting room, you're just sitting there. They might have daytime TV on. They might have some couple magazines, or you just might be on your phone the whole time, and might catch up on something, or if it's you're in some form of body condition, you might be trying to uplift your spirits. You might be trying to read your Bible or some self-help book to pass the time. But what if I told you before you could see the grand physician, or before you get to that final destination, you got to sit in that weight room? And it is very important how you spend your time in that weight room. Now, I will pause, put a full stop to that weight room. Now let's get into the WEIGHT, the weight room. If you've been noticing, your boy been getting a little tick. And this weight room is important because people scared of this weight room too, because people are often fascinated by the end result with a nice physique, to the point where they want to skip the process. They either want to get the surgery or take the substance to make you look a certain way. But in a weight room, you might come, you will not get your results after the first week, after the first day, the first week, the first month, or even the first year. But you stay consistent in that weight room. You understand what it takes for preparation, understanding dieting, understanding what you have to take supplement, and understanding what is perfect form for whatever the various workouts you may do for various body parts. Repetition of, I don't want to frame this. The repetition of great habits will lead you to your ultimate success. So if you're doing everything that you're supposed to do in the gym and outside of the gym and before and after the gym, the weight room, and when you in the weight room, you just walk in, you get your session in, you're going to see grand results. And I'm proof of both weight rooms. But it's the concept of what I'm trying to push today is similar in that you're going to have to go through the weight room, and you should love your weight room experience. Whether you have to sit down and get your thoughts together in order to go see the doctor or whatever the case may be, or before you want to change around your life, you have to push them weights. It can be uncomfortable. Both processes are uncomfortable, and you never know what you're going to see when it's time they call your name and say, hey, the doctor will see you now, or hey, one day you wake up and you ain't fat no more, or your health ain't trash, and you look amazing when you look in that mirror. See, oftentimes delayed gratification is something that most people don't want to endure, because everybody wants it right now. But you have to always embrace patience and perseverance, always. Nothing is built in a day. So you have to get comfortable in that weight room. Some things might take weeks, months, years. Bro, it took me, if I go from high school to now, it took me like 16 years to feel like I'm successful, honestly. And then it was a lot of hard work, a lot of hours. Sometimes I get emotional thinking back to how much I have done, especially like last year when it was just a combination of things, and it was like, this is the moment that I have arrived. But I didn't really bask in the arrival moment. I thought back to them days in which the tears I shed, the moments that it was like I was just low, down in the dumps. Those moments I would park my car by the beach, and I would stare off into the sea and say, when it's gonna be my turn. And those days wasn't easy. But I continued to push on and push forward. Even down to why obviously it's been viral right now to the whole wrestling thing, but people forgot the premise what I laid out originally for that little tidbit on Tool for Cartoons. And why I was super mad about my car, because my car was sentimental to me, because a lot of days I was crying inside that car, hoping for the day that everything connect and my life change and things would make sense and all this hard work would pay off. But hey, I had to get in the weight room. I had to be addicted to staying patient and keeping my head down and continually doing the work. Because if I mind what everybody else doing, you'll get depressed. Bro, comparison is the ultimate killer of joy. So I had to just go lock in. And sometimes the weight room ain't a big room full of people doing the same thing as you. Sometimes you're alone in that weight room. You alone with all them weights and those gears, but you gotta go to work. You have to put in that preparation. You might be planting your fruit and vegetable garden right now, and it might be bare and barren. And you looking at the neighbor across the fence, and you seeing all that they have, and you looking at yours, and you like, one day I could get like this. And that's cool if you're looking at them to be like, okay, this is where I can get to. But if you just focus solely on what you have in front of you and you cultivate that, by the time you reap your harvest will be overjoyed. Because you know what you had to do, the time you took, and you realize that, bro, the journey was even more sweeter than the end result. And that's what it was for me. But you have to get addicted to the weight room. You have to say to yourself, I don't mind waiting, and I don't care how long it takes. Because there's purpose in waiting. Everything ain't always about the end result. The end result, I mean, people bask in the end result, but people often neglect the time that it took to get there. And I want you in 2026, stop hating the weight room. Stop hating not wanting to go through the excruciating experience of building yourself. Embrace it. Tell yourself, I don't mind waiting if at the end of the day, this waiting period brings me closer to where I need to be. Make that sacrifice. I sacrifice plenty mornings, not oversleeping, staying in bed, waking up at 6 o'clock in the morning to go, because that's the best time I could go and work out. But I love that sacrifice. It stabilizes my mind, stabilizes my body, and I love the results. To where I'm addicted to going into the weight room. I'm addicted with trusting the process. And that's ultimately what we have to pay attention to. Trusting the process. But in order to trust the process, you got to start the process. And that's where you fall down in the first place. You gotta be scared of going to the doctor or going into a process where, hey, you gotta wait a little bit of time. Be productive during that wait time. And plan to be productive during that wait time. Because things don't just pop up one day. It takes a long time for it to happen. And when it does, boy, that'd be sweet. And you'd be like, well, mudda sick. I remember when this and that happened, and now we here. But don't forget about them. If you pass that point of waiting and you in the winner circle right now, don't forget them days, bro. Them days to keep you humble. Because you're going to have to do the process again at some point. So you should be overjoyed to go back in the process. Like me, I built up to this point. Now I'm happy to go back to square one and build again. Because that's fun. But I might be crazy for feeling that way. So, you know. But thank y'all again for listening to another episode of Well Mudda Sick. Trying new things, trying to be more consistent with this stuff. And I got plenty of things planned. So until next time. Also, if you want to sponsor this show or any other show on the Original People Network or anything that I am doing out of Chosen Few Studios. Feel free to hit me up directly on all social media platforms where you can find me. And if you need something more specific, the Original People Network at gmail.com. You can send anything there and we can redirect you to another brand. But we're trying to go bigger and better for 2026. We came for humble beginnings, and we just trying to take it to a whole nother level. So until next time, yeah, see.